What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about delays and greats in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Times.
What's up? What's up?
And Levon Maynard.
Hey, welcome to the show.
What is going on? So, if you're tuning in, this is the Friday episode, so it should be 212, maybe. So you're definitely way past Easter. I forgot to say Happy Easter and all the other episodes. So go back and listen to those, even though I didn't say it. For those of you who celebrate the holiday. Definitely listen to Monday, where we talk about Google making a $9.5 billion investment, new offices across the states. Tune in Tuesday, where Levon talks about the Swiss Army knife of industry hacking tools. So it makes people who weren't necessarily on God tier of the hacking spectrum look as though they are. So definitely check that out. It's definitely a warning for the industry. Wednesday, we have a discussion where we talk about WeSys and one of their executive members speaking about how women in cybersecurity are kind of leaving the industry at the age of 30 on average, and just our opinion on it and just why it may be happening. So definitely tune in for that one. No Thursday episode, Ask Us SP. That's normally where we talk to people who are trying to get into the industry of cybersecurity. And then this is Friday, so we talk about everything else. So please continue to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get them numbers up, share with your friends. But yeah, this one is not cyber related. So if you want to listen to us talk about games and movies and books, then this is definitely an episode for you. We do this every Friday. So with that being said, how's everybody's weekend or week? This is the weekend.
Right. No, it's all good. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week for me. I've been staying pretty busy with some travel for work, but I had some time on my flights as well as in the hotel to enjoy some content. In particular, I started, well, let me say this first. I got caught up on One Piece. So I'm up to the 1013 episode. They must be on a little pause. They haven't had any new episodes in a little bit, at least a couple weeks. But finally caught up on that. Even though, I told you guys before, not like I watched the 1000 episodes in like the last month or two. That's over the course of many years, actually, a couple years at least of following One Piece. But watched that, caught up on that one. On an airplane, they had a couple of movies I had never seen before. And one was the Don't Breathe 2. I saw Don't Breathe 1, the first one, which is about, the first one was about an old man who was basically blind. And essentially he was like kidnapping women or something like that, or like somehow he'd have like women tied up in his basement. But because he was an old Navy SEAL, but he didn't have his vision, but he's kind of like Daredevil, where he can hear things really well, and he can sense where everything's at, kind of thing. But it was pretty much like a horror movie, or like horror thriller type movie. But I guess some other people kind of came into his house, like some kids that were trying to rob him or something. But then he kind of turned the tables on him. But then they found out that he was he's worse than them. Like, even though they were trying to steal from him, kind of found out that he was a really bad guy. But this is a part 2, and they kind of switch things up. But if you guys are interested in seeing it, you can watch it on whatever. But it's pretty enjoyable. It's not like the greatest type of movie. I wouldn't really recommend it to it's a world-class movie that you got to see, you can't miss it type thing. But it was fun to watch. Then I also watched Scream, the latest 2022 version of Scream, which was it was all right. It was just I don't know, it was kind of more the same to me. I watched all the other Screams.
That seemed like a money grab to me, man.
Yeah.
How do you really go from?
I'm very interested in that movie.
Are you serious?
I am. I've not watched it yet, but I'm very interested in it.
Yeah.
But you said, is it a B or is it a C?
I don't even know. Maybe a C.
That's
C plus. Maybe. C plus. Maybe B minus. C plus, B minus area. It's just okay movie. It's nothing. I don't know, nothing to take home. I can't even remember any kind of special scene that was man, that was so badass or something. I don't know. There's nothing that jumps out.
At this point, they're too old to even run from anybody. I mean,
Yeah,
like seriously, like, let's think
Yeah.
Well,
about it.
they got the new crew, and then they got the old ones that
right.
survived. They're in it. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know, man. I've
old
Was
watched
there
ones come
more?
all
in.
of them
Yeah,
so far.
I thought it was all the old crew that was still running from people,
Nah, it's
right?
a new generation. New
it was
generation. Like, yeah. So
So
in the trailer, they show like some of the old ways that he used to do it, but like from the new way you would have to do it, because you have a phone. So how does he call you? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you don't have a house line. So I was like, that's interesting.
nobody does lane lines anymore. Yeah,
You don't get no landline, right? Like in the first movie, he had called him on the landline. Oh, he come from inside the house. Like now, it's going to be a different perspective.
Yeah. That's 25 years of technology or whatever it was.
Right.
That's the first one was like 96, 97, something like that, right? It was a while ago.
Right.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm still interested, but I'm not gonna, like, if I have nothing going on.
Right. I want to go out
because
go
it's
out
on
my way to see
Paramount.
it. Is it on
It's on
Paramount? I didn't
Paramount
know.
Plus. Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it was on my my airplane, so I'd watch it on the little free stream or whatever they have on there. But it's like, yeah, just like you described, Ryan. It's like some of the old folks come back. It's a new cast, like, I mean, not new cast, but new like main people, and then the old cast kind of comes back to kind of help things and like kind of like, oh no, it's happening again type thing. Like, let's come back to the town and like, save the people. I don't know how you describe it. Like, but it's I guess the main girl is I don't think this is like a secret, but she's the daughter of the killer in like the first one or something like that. Like, she's like,
But it
yeah,
was two
so,
in the first one, right?
yeah, I'm sorry. One of the guys, I guess like maybe the more suave looking guy in the first one. That's like, she's his daughter.
No, wait a minute. Hold on.
I got to
I'm-
see it. I got to see it now. I got to see
So
it.
maybe I'm misremembering, right? Because like, didn't they kill the two of them in the first one?
Yeah, and that's the part
Well,
I
so
don't really.
he stabbed
Yeah.
him, but he stabbed him too deep. But I don't think he died.
No. So like, yeah. So they he stabbed the other one to make it look like he got attacked, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what he did. And then I thought they both still died in the first one, right? Because
we gotta do
Sydney
a Scream marathon. Scream
Yeah,
marathon.
no,
We gotta watch
I'm
it.
not watching it again. I'm not watching it again. I'm just saying. So like, I remember they did the whole setup. Like, you stabbed me, we're gonna kill everybody. You stabbed me to make it look like I got away. All is good. But the one that got stabbed, I thought Sydney ended up killing him in the end because he was still coming after him because she survived. So they had to get rid of her, right, for the story to
Yeah.
make sense. But I could be misremembering though.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, I thought both of them got killed. I can't really remember, but I don't even know if they really just like explain in this most recent Scream like when she was born, of like he already got a girl pregnant before this whole thing happened, or if it was like, it was somebody that he like abandoned or something. I can't remember if they even mentioned that. That's how much I was invested in the movie. But they may have said at some point, but all I know is that they said that she was his daughter, and that was like messing with her mind, and like people were kind of like standing away from, a little timid around her because she's like, oh, you're associated to that one guy that was the scream guy back in 20 years ago, whatever it was. But yeah, so that's that. I mean, it might be worth, if you're absolutely not doing anything, you want to multitask, you have this playing in the background where you're kind of doing some other things on the side, you kind of watch it like that, but it's not really gonna change your life in any any serious form.
Wow.
But yeah, so I watched that. I watched I don't know if I say his last name right, but Ronnie Chang, watched his comedy special on Netflix, which I really enjoyed. It's pretty funny. He talks about a lot of COVID stuff and anti-vaxxers and stuff like that, which is pretty funny. But watched that. Then I watched Better Call Saul, like the first 2 episodes, the most recent season, which they're really good. I think they do a good job in this series. It's pretty. I think it's pretty well like received from the audience. Like, it's really has the vibes of like Breaking Bad. Obviously, it's more focused on the lawyer guy, but it's definitely a lot of like gangsters and like drug cartels and all that kind of stuff he's dealing with, and he's trying to he's always like, he's like a kind of like don't know if you call it like a public defender or something like that, or like he's always trying to defend like the criminals, or people not criminals, but people that are charged or like trying to defend themselves from being
defense attorney. He's a
defense attorney. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah, defense attorney. So he's trying to defend like a lot of people from getting put away in jail. But he obviously tied into a lot of like actual people that are doing bad things, and he's always trying to find a way to get out of it. Like he kind of gets pulled into some bad situations, and he's either trying to help defend them, or he's like his life's on the line if he doesn't do something particularly. But it's pretty good series. I'm enjoying the first couple of episodes, and I think there's like maybe 10 episodes in the season or something like that.
So let me ask you this then. So like I never watched Breaking Bad. Was he in Breaking Bad? Because this is a spinoff from Breaking Bad, right?
Yep. And he was in there.
Okay.
It's been so long since I've seen Breaking Bad. I can't remember like exactly what he does in Breaking Bad, but I know. I know he's a lawyer.
He was. Oh man. I won't call him Eisenberg. What's his name on the show though?
The main character in Breaking Bad.
Because they called him Eisenberg. It was his drug dealer name, but he's his lawyer though, basically. Like he, between him
like
and
Walter White.
Walter White. He's Walter White's lawyer. So like he pops up on several episodes.
Yeah,
but the reason I didn't watch it though was I was afraid of it tarnishing Breaking Bad because it was so good. Like that series is almost perfect. Like I could watch it again and feel the same way. It's timeless. Like I don't know. Some people didn't like it. Some people didn't like it, but there's only like one person I know who didn't like it. It's Shannon.
I've never watched it. I've never watched it. But like with you saying that, now I gotta ask. Okay, how many zombies are in it?
No. It's I think it's up there with the Wire and Sopranos, like that type of like show. In my opinion, it's a classic. Now
you want to know something crazy? I tell people this and they can't believe it. Right? So I'm originally from Maryland. Right? I've never seen The Wire. Never watched The Wire.
Oh man,
because you lived
that's such a good one.
You were there.
Yeah,
I lived the life.
You like I don't need to see that.
Coke and guns. I grew up with that. No, I'm joking. but no, I've never watched The Wire. I keep telling myself I need to sit down and watch it or whatever.
That's a really good one.
That's what I keep hearing. Like there was a magazine.
Masterpiece.
I think Entertainment Weekly might have had it as the best show ever made or something like that. They did a listing of like 50 shows or 100 shows or something like that. I think it was Entertainment Weekly, and The Wire was number one. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I believe it. It's really good. I remember it being like really good, and I think it's on HBO Max.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you should jump into it. You'd be like, man, it's so good. You'd be talking about like, so what's crazy though is when you finally jump on a series that's like decades old, you start talking about people don't remember as sharply as you do because you just saw it. So you bring up something, they be like, I don't even remember that.
Right. Yeah. But I was just looking it up. I mean, Better Call Saul has a has 98 on Rotten Tomatoes and 96 with the viewer score.
I should start watching it.
Yeah, people like it. I like it. I think it's really good actually. But I don't know. Yeah, it may be may turn you off if it's not it's not Walter White. You don't see Walter White walking around there. I think I heard that he might have a cameo or something in this one.
Yeah, I heard he has a cameo coming. Yeah, because this is the last season, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so you say there's going to be a cameo. So I'm just like, do I want to jump on it?
So is this show? Was it happening in parallel with Breaking Bad or?
No, this came after Breaking Bad, but it's actually a prequel, I think, to Breaking Bad. It's like happening before he actually.
So I was like, how does he show up? Because I heard, I mean, I don't think this is a spoiler because Breaking Bad's been done forever, but I heard Walter White died at the end of Breaking Bad, right? So how can he be in this?
But did he?
Parallel?
Did he though?
I don't know.
But did he?
They made it seem like
he didn't have the Scarface ending.
Okay. So he didn't fall into the fountain, is what you're telling me. Okay, gotcha.
Right. Yeah. He didn't fall into the fountain. Yeah.
There's a game where you get out of the fountain. Like you play Scarface at the end of the movie and he fell in the fountain, and then you get out of it, you live, and then you have to rebuild your empire. That exists. What? It's out there in the world. Yep. You like between the table of cocaine that he inhaled and the gunfight and then the drowning. Tony Montana is unstoppable. He's like Jason.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Like, is the fountain Crystal Lake? Like, what's going on here? Just keep coming out of it. Like, God.
So that exists out there in the world. But anything else? Like did you finish all the Yakuzas?
Not yet. I was just playing that earlier today, but I'm getting close. I got like the last couple chapters. I'm like in chapter. There's like 12. There's 12 chapters in this game, and I'm in like chapter 10, like towards the end of chapter 10. So I'm almost done with it. I should be done maybe by the next episode.
Okay.
Next podcast.
Gotcha.
But,
and then it's like a dragon after that, right?
Yeah, Like a Dragon. Yep, I got that one queued up. Already downloaded it, installed it on the console. So
Gotcha.
yeah, but yeah, that's the only game I've been playing right now. I've been playing a little bit of Halo here and there, but like I mentioned, I was traveling a lot this week, so I didn't really get a chance to really dig into it too much. Same with Yakuza, but I'm gonna get a little bit more into it this week. But that's my big highlights for the week. How about you, Shannon? You got anything going on with you?
Yeah, man. So I was gonna ask you, like, did you watch Moon Knight or no?
Oh no, I did watch Moon Knight. I forgot about that. I watched the most recent episode.
So what you think, man? What you think?
The most recent episode didn't do for me. Like it was not as good as the. I enjoyed the first couple episodes, but this most recent one was kind of like it gets a little weird, and like some of the I don't know, the gods around, the whole god thing with their like little seance or whatever they were doing.
So like I don't know, like, so like the first one I was like, okay, I didn't really like it because they didn't do action to the end, right? And then in the second one they kind of did the same thing again, like they gave you a few more minutes of action but still at the end, right? So I was like, okay, they gotta pick it up now, right? And then the third, we're right back to it again where there's not really action. I mean, they had some cool special effects.
I was gonna say they the horses. He was fighting the dudes and the horses and getting stabbed, and it was a lot of action. Actually, he was getting shot, beating people up. So and then he was running. Remember the knife fight.
So he did that part, right? So like where they went to the guy's place or whatever, right? You had that was maybe 2 minutes though. Think about it. It was I say 3 minutes, right?
Yeah,
3 minutes of it, and then it's okay. Now we're in this truck. We're going to this place. And then like the seance thing that Levon's talking about, that was not really action. Yeah. At the very end, it was good special effects with like the stars and whatnot. I was like, that's cool. But when you think of the action, 53 minutes. It was a 53-minute episode. I look at the length of these now when I watch them. Like 53 minutes, you had like 2 fight scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Then, the knife fight though, the knife fight on the roof, where he kept attacking the same dudes. They're like, you just let us go. He's like, nah,
come back over here.
But again, it did that thing I didn't like before, right? Like all of a sudden he
right. But then that shows that there's another one.
Yeah,
it's like DJ Khaled and another one.
So I mean, there apparently is like a guy I work with. He's a big comic book guy, and he knows some of the story and whatnot, and he reads up on it, and he was like, yeah, apparently there is another personality that we've seen and we haven't realized seen them, right? Because they talk about it in the first episode. I mean, we're 2 weeks past it now, but like when he made the date, right? Because one guy is a vegetarian. When he made the date, like the guy that made the date was not the first 2 people that are highlighted here. They think it was a third person that made the date. So, and we've seen them again without even realizing it. So I don't know. It's not. I'm willing to give Marvel a pass though, because they've come with good stuff before that, right? WandaVision was a little suspect for me, but they've come with good stuff before that, so I'm willing to let one pass, right, and be like, okay, that's what it is. But I need you to step it up now, right? Like,
so but this is the first origin one they've done though. Like, so now from here on out, they're pretty much going to be origin stories. This is the first, like, so Wanda already was a character.
Yep.
The same thing with Falcon, Winter Soldier, and then obviously Loki and Hawkeye. Like, they're all established characters. Now they got those side stories that fold back into the movies. This is the first time they're just like, well, we don't want to make a movie necessarily, and do another intro, kind of like they did with Shang-Chi. They're like, we'll just do it through a 6-hour basically movie to introduce the character before we fold them into the universe or whatever. So I'm also giving them a pass, like right now, mansplaining like why this is okay.
Yeah.
This episode was actually a turning point for me. Like this one actually made me like the show a little bit more.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah, it
Interesting.
was yeah, this because of the pacing was all wrong. Like, so I didn't like the beginning of the show. The pacing was all broken, but I think that's because of the one of the characters died. So like the dude who had the really nice house and he was in the robe, riding a horse or whatever, he passed away shortly before the show came out. I can't remember if they said it was a car
Oh,
accident or something like
really?
that. So he said he was actually going to be a character on the show. There's like an antagonist that steals uh jewelry and art and stuff like that. Like he's supposed to be a bad guy. But he's no longer, like they did the tribute at the end of the show because he passed away. So I think that jacked up some of the pacing because like I think he hits him with like one of the sticks or whatever, right? Like he's riding the
Yeah,
horses
but
or whatever. And he kind of off some and they don't even talk about it.
well, he didn't. They don't even come out and really say that he was off though, because remember he just rides through the fog.
Right,
After he takes
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
It's
So like the
is
pacing is
he
just
there?
all
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah. I think it's because of that. They had to go back and read. They had to do some edits because like he can't be in the show anymore, obviously. So I think that broke some of the pacing for the show because it did feel a little off. Like you said, so it wasn't a lot of action. You're right. He only had like the one real fight scene. But I like that they showed the third personality or whatever you would call it, third alt, because I was watching this one show where they had to be careful what they call it because he actually does have dissociative identity disorder. So you have to be careful with the terms they use. Like they can't say like persona, or they can't say oh man, there's another term that you're not supposed to say because each one of these people is a person basically, because they all have their own memories, their own mannerisms. Like when you talk about people with DID, they're some words are not. I don't think you could say personalities or something like that, like multiple personalities, something like that. Like I forget. There's certain terms you're not supposed to use, so Disney's kind of dancing around them because they don't want to disrespect people who have DID, which like I think they should have done some other things with the show because like they don't really discuss his DID from a medical perspective. So you're not sure if it's supernatural or they kind of hint that he was already this way and he was kind of able to mask it. Like Steven's always been around, but Mark is able to somehow control him or whatever until recently.
So who's the primary then?
So that's the thing though. So they're with a person with DID, there is no primary. Like they're all distinct people. They just all inhabit one.
So who did
human.
but Conchu
made the deal with Mark.
Mark, yeah,
because he didn't know about Steven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't know he existed. So whatever happened in Egypt when it all went down and he was about to die, I guess somehow Conchu was like, I want that body in this dude. he didn't know that Steven was even a thing.
So I thought he knew because Conchu mentioned to him, I think it was the previous episode, he was like, you told me this was not going to be a problem or something like that. I thought he said.
Yeah, but I think that's after the fact, after they made the pact.
Gotcha.
He probably popped up and they were like, hey, wait a minute.
Hold up now, hold up.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
But it gives you a new perspective of like, because the Marvel's gods are not omnipotent. They don't see everything. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're very limited in the scope. Because you saw they locked old boy up.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, wait a minute. So I don't know. I kind of liked it. But I am giving it a lot of rope. So we'll see. They only got what, 2 episodes?
They should have 3 more, right? This was the 3rd. They have.
Was it the 3rd?
It's a 6 episode.
Okay, yeah, 6 episodes. Yeah, so they got 3 more. So this got to be the turning point.
I thought that last time, the way they ended it, I was like, okay, we're gonna see more, but I guess not. But okay, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I even if I don't like it, again, I'm willing to give them, because here's the thing. I hate to be left out if like all of a sudden this shows up in Multiverse of Madness. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
If
Right.
I
That's how they
don't,
get you the FOMO. The FOMO.
exactly. So like if I don't watch these last three, they'll be like, oh, you didn't get it because you didn't watch the last three episodes of Moon Knight, right?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I didn't. I did the first three, not the last three. So I'm like, all right, let me watch it because I plan on watching Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing to me. You know, another one, and I didn't watch the latest episode of it, but Halo was kind of disappointing me too. But I don't
Yeah,
have the
I felt the
background.
same way. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I like what they're doing, but it is kind of boring.
like that first episode, like they within 7 minutes there was a fight scene with the
It
Covenant.
was
You
getting
know,
it in. Yeah,
yeah, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down for this. You know what I'm saying? But I
yeah.
I don't even think we've seen a scene like that since. We haven't seen a
No.
scene like that since. And like we're
Mm-mm.
like, and again, I haven't watched the fourth episode, which is the latest one, right? So I haven't watched that one. Maybe they get it in that one, but I'm like, no, they don't. Okay, so
No.
I don't know. I don't know. Like at what point do like because I'm not invested in the games or anything like that, I may just be like, all right, I'm probably done with this. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I'll give it a shot. How many episodes are supposed to be for that one? Is that a 9 or 10 episode arc for this
You know,
one?
I don't know because how long are they? Are they 30 minutes or an hour?
An hour.
Okay, so then it's only gonna be like 12 or 13, right?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I figured no more than 12. I'm thinking, right?
yeah. It'll probably be capped at 12 because
Yeah.
they are an hour a piece. And yeah, I can see from your perspective, like I'd be bored. I'd be like, what is all this background? Like what is not even just like you want to see action in that story. Like literally there is no action for the
But here's
past
the thing
few.
though. You've played the games, right? So like you playing the games, how is this
Yeah.
not boring to you, right? Like you're like, okay, I know this
Well,
story.
because this
You're
is
not doing
yeah,
anything.
because right. Well, because it's a bunch of new lore. You know what I mean? Like I've played the games. The action. I'm playing the game right now, right? So I'm good. I fill in my own action gaps. Um, but if it was just this, I think I'd be bored as a viewer.
Levon, have you been watching Halo or no?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
You played the games though, right? Too? You played
Yeah.
the game, Levon?
Yeah, I
So
played them. Yeah, I went through them all. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I don't know, maybe you will enjoy it a little bit more than I have, but I feel lost. I feel like the action is just not there like I think it should be for something that
Right.
people waited so long for, right? Like the
Hmm.
game is about shooting up aliens. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
give me more of that. Like I'm
Right.
not
Right.
but yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it's a bunch of politics and human drama, kind of like where the books are kind of at, in my opinion. But yeah, it's not a lot of action. Like this episode didn't have no Covenant action. I can't. Was there even any aliens in it? Come to think of it, I don't think so. Like there was like a one alien corpse. It was mostly revolved around the Spartans this time, just talking about stuff.
yeah, I don't know. After I see this one, if I'm not interested, I'll probably let it go. We'll see. That'll be 4 episodes, and it's like, all right, I don't need to waste my time. I did see the Ronnie Chang thing, Levon. I watched that too. That was
Yeah.
funny. I was telling you I was telling you guys in the chat, if you haven't seen it, Ali Wong's got one out too, man. It's hilarious. But
Yeah,
life,
Don Wong. Yeah, I saw that
yeah,
one. Yeah,
and life
Yeah.
life imitates art, because if you've seen that one, like apparently she's getting a divorce from her husband now, and like so
Mm.
she went too hard.
Right. Right.
right.
Oh, some of the stuff she said in that, I was like, oh, wow. I was like, you sure your husband
Yeah.
is still at home waiting for you? Like, apparently not anymore. But yeah,
Yeah.
I still haven't played any video games. So my children, we got them in my younger two children, we got them in Taekwondo. So like that's been a lot more of my time
Mm.
after work, you know what I'm saying? So it's like going to Taekwondo for a couple hours, and then by the time I get home, it's eating and then not really playing video games or anything. So I wanted to get my horizon in, but it's just getting
Right.
farther and farther on the horizon away. So wordplay.
Right. I see what
Message.
you did there.
Yeah. but yeah, I don't know when I'll get around to actually doing that. I actually, you know what I actually did do that I was like, let me just make sure it's not as bad as I thought it was. I watched all the Blade movies with Wesley Snipes, and I was like, okay, let me see, right? Because people will tell you they don't like the second and the third, and I'm like, the second one I think I like the best out of them
Right.
all. I'd say the second one, the first one, and the third one. The third one, I was just like,
Yeah, third one was
yeah. So, but
Right.
yeah, I think I like the second the best, the first, and then the third. And I watched those, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I remember that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I watched a black lady sketch show is the name of it. The one that Robin Thede on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Watched that. This last episode wasn't that funny. It was a little off. So they started bringing in puppets and whatnot for this season. Like, I don't know. But it'll probably get funny again. But yeah, that's kind of, as I'm trying to think about it, that's kind of all I've really watched, I think. Workaholics, still watching Workaholics, and every once in a while they do something and I'm just like, wow, okay, I don't know if they could do this today. You know what I'm saying? Because they got one of the, because like it's 3 white dudes, right? And one of the dudes wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? And like in this day and age, they'd be like, oh, appropriation and this, that, and the third. And they'd be like, oh, you can't do that now, man. You could do that back in 2014, maybe, but not in 2020.
Yeah. Right.
So, but yeah, that's about it for me. That's about it.
Okay.
What you, Ryan?
I'm trying to think stuff I watched. So yeah, I did watch the Halo episode. It was okay. But not actually was not existent. So it's still trying to, like, I guess if you don't understand like how the Spartans are all set up and whatnot, like it's a lot of that type of lore. Like they're trying to explain where the Spartans came from and how things might not be as they seem type situation. So there's a whole bunch of that mystery type stuff. And then I watched Moon Knight. Obviously, I liked the episode. I don't know. I guess it's starting to grow on me, but we'll see. We'll see what the last 3 look like. Again,
you're trying to talk yourself into it, Ryan.
I think I liked it. I think I liked it.
You can't say I think I liked it. You're trying to talk yourself into it. Okay. All right.
There's a third out or whatever in there. So I'm waiting to see how they explain and all that stuff. Because the show's a big mystery, you know what I mean? Like, so as the pieces come together, I think I'm starting to like it more as I start to understand what the hell is actually happening. The set piece is always amazing. The music is hot as well. I think I like the cinematography more than I like the story. I think that's where I'm at with it. I'm like, oh, it looks impressive. I feel like
that's not.
I respect what they're doing here.
That's not.
I just might not like the character, to be honest with you. Not the actor who's doing it, but like Moon Knight itself. Like, because he's kind of like Batman, kind of, but not as good. So that's it. Like, I don't think I like the character.
Man,
I like everything they're doing with it. Yeah, but I don't think I like Moon Knight.
You should not have to put yourself in the place of like an Academy Awards board to like the show. You know what I mean? Like, oh, right. Best screenplay goes to Moon Knight. Like, if you've gone there, you just give up on the show. Just be like, nah, it's not my bag. You know.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, just feels like I think that's what it is. Though I think I don't like the character. I don't really understand his powers. Like, I don't know what's going on here. But it's crazy when they bring in an all-star cast. They bring in all the budget and the money and whatnot. So it kind of forces you to want to like it. They got all the pieces. It's just not coming together. Like, these last 3 episodes probably gonna be great. They're gonna seal the deal. What else did I watch? I think that's pretty much it for watching stuff. But then I got the Series X, so I got that. It got here super fast from the States. Nice. Love it so far. No issues with it. I played it on a nicer TV once when I first unwrapped it, so I got to see all them graphics, all them Ks. Looks amazing. So I played Halo, I played Cyberpunk, I played Tunic. So I got to experience all those. Like, looks great. Super fast load times, obviously, plenty of storage. Like, I downloaded like my whole library and I still have half a drive left. Now I'm playing it at home on the smaller TV, so everything's set up for performance because it's like your TV is garbage. So we're gonna we're gonna make the games play as smooth as possible. So like everything plays really well. It still looks better, I would say, even though I have a 1080p non HDR TV. It still looks impressive to me. Like playing Cyberpunk, I'm like, it doesn't look as good as when I went to the nicer television, obviously with the ray tracing and all that stuff, but it just looks better and it runs smoother. Neither TV could do 120 though, so I still haven't found a great TV yet to put it on. So when I get home, I'll probably upgrade so I get the full bells and whistles. But Halo plays smoother. Like I think on last gen it was 30 frames. So now I'm able to play it at 60, knowing that I should be able to bump it up to 120 when I find a suitable television. Um, Cyberpunk, I actually like the game a lot. Obviously, it's gone through a year or two. Has it been 2 years since Cyberpunk came out, or has it just been a year and some change?
I think it's
Can't
only been
remember.
a year and some change. So
Year and
I
some
thought it
change.
got bumped because they had problems, and it was December of last year, I think, right?
Okay.
Or,
Yeah,
or,
because I got it
or
for.
the year previous, 2020, not 2021, right?
Okay, gotcha. Because I got it for $10 because of all the negative reviews and whatnot. I popped it in. It had like a 50 gig patch, of which I assume is some of its textures for the newer Xbox, but then a lot of it is bug patches or whatever. Running smooth. I've had a couple of weird things happen, but that's normal for open world game. Like if you were playing Fallout, you would experience the same thing. Like people trying to walk through doors and they get stuck in a wall. Like I saw that a couple times. Not a big deal. That happens in open world games all the time. But one was you can call your car like and tell it to meet you. And I was standing by an overpass, didn't notice it, and it ran into the overpass, got stuck in the environment, and then the environment spit it out, and it went flying over my head, and then like by the time I got the car settled, it was just destroyed. I was like, well, I guess I have to call another car.
Right.
But
That's
open
funny.
world games have bugs. But a lot of the stuff there is one. I think my character is naked. So you see it from first perspective, right? At one point, because I made a female protagonist, at one point, I gave her clothes and whatnot, but I'm in act two, something happens, and you wake up and have to take a shower and get dressed. I couldn't get her wardrobe. Like you go to the closet and it wouldn't pick stuff. So I was like, oh, she must already be dressed. And then I was in the cut scene. It was like, hey, you got blood in your face, so clean yourself up. And I went to the mirror, and when the reflection opened up, she was naked. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
dang.
So she been walking around for like days, and no one has mentioned like, hey, put some clothes on. Because I
Wow.
can't see her. All I see is hands, and every now and then you'll see an arm when you choke somebody out, but I can't see her whole body. So I think she's been walking around naked. So I'm like, so when I get back to her apartment or whatever, I gotta put some clothes on her. You're gonna catch a cold.
Right.
Can't just walk around naked all the time. But yeah, so I think that's a glitch. But I would never know, right? Because it's not third person perspective. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, playing good. I like it. I can see myself playing through it some more because I actually like the storyline and what have you. I don't understand all the mechanics yet, so I'm still learning how everything works. So I think I'm pretty under equipped for where I should be because I just don't know how to augment myself to make it better per se. So I'll definitely work on that. Played Tunic. Tunic looked great before. It looks even better now. I got a little bit further in it, so I got a new weapon. I fought a boss. So it's still discovering stuff. I refuse to go to the internet. I'm just going to learn organically. I'm still having fun with it. I'm getting less lost. I'm starting to figure out where stuff is at. And then Halo. I've just been playing Halo. It has not been crashing for me anymore because I was having issues where I get in big battles and the game would crash. I have not had that issue. Runs buttery smooth. No issues there. Definitely enjoying it. Just systematically going after they call them fobs, so forward operating bases. I keep conquering different fobs, hunting. There's bounties for like Spartan killers and stuff like that, so I'm just like hunting the bad guys down. So I'm enjoying that. Have not progressed the story at all in a while, so I should probably do that at some point, but I'm just clearing the map just very slowly. That's pretty much it for the game stuff. Like I need to look up some old games I need to pull up and see what they look like now on the newer system, because Xbox does that whole FPS boost and um, all that stuff. Like I won't be able to see a lot of the graphic stuff because, like I said, the little TV I have doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. But it will run much smoother than it did in the past. So I'll definitely check that out.
Something you said, I don't know why it reminded me. I did start to watch that Genius documentary with Kanye.
Oh yeah,
Talking about I watched the first 2 episodes. I only got one more left, but like it's not interesting me as much as I thought it would.
what happens at the end of the second episode? Where do they leave off at? Because I'm not sure if I watched all three or not. I can't remember.
He releases College Dropout. It's actually where he starts to get away from Cootie, like he's going and touring and whatnot.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Not
get away from him, but like he's doing other stuff away from him, right? Because he's starting to get College Dropout is 4 times platinum. He's doing all this stuff, and like it made me so like, and I've said this before on here. I don't know if we said it on the podcast or if it was one of our offline conversations, but after his first 2 albums, like I was kind of out on Kanye. I was just like, I don't know what's going on here. You know what I mean? But like College Dropout was off the chain. It actually made me go to Apple Music and start listening to it again. I was like, oh yeah, this is a play all the way through right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a good album. But yeah, watching the documentary, there's some stuff in there I'm just like, I don't know about. You know what I mean? Like he's a lot of people like to say how musically talented he is, but there was something I picked up on that, and I shared it in the group message about like one of his beats that he was playing on there, right? And it was something that was already on somebody else's album, but it seemed like he was trying to put it off as his own. Like it sounded the exact same, right? And I was just like, why would he be doing that? You know what I mean? But it just got to a point where I remember back in the day, I was like, man, I've heard this already, right? Like I listen to Shaka Khan, I know what that is, you know what I mean? I've listened to Stevie, I've listened to all these other, like you just changing one thing on a beat. I mean, to me, it doesn't make you a genius, you know what I mean? As people like to say that he is. So I don't know, I'm not as impressed, I guess. I thought I would learn something a little new about him, and there's some things I'm just, oh wow, okay, that's new, I didn't know that. But there's some other things I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, yep. But so I'll eventually finish the third, maybe, probably,
Right. Get around to it.
Yeah, I've only done the first two episodes because they're an hour and a half each, you know what I mean? So it's like watching a movie, each one that you watch. So I may get around to it, but yeah, it was okay. It was so. The cinematography was great. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say to try to talk myself into it, Ryan?
Right.
Like, I was surprised he greenlit a lot of the stuff. Like some stuff is missing where you could tell, like, okay, he didn't want this part of his life to come out or to be discussed. Like he has a whole fiance that you don't even see her. There's not even a hint of her in it.
Are you sure she wasn't in there? So there is a woman I see.
I remember seeing it.
There was, well, they didn't highlight her, but there's a few scenes where he's sitting down with a woman. It's the same woman, and they're like sitting right next to each other, and they seem kind of close, but they don't come out and say, "This is my fiance, it's my girl," or whatever. But even in Through the Wire, like if you listen to the lyrics, right, he talks about, on a plane, scared as hell that my what he say? Something about his girl flying out to see him, right?
Yeah, they look like Emmett Till.
Yeah. On a plane, scared as hell that my guy, that her guy looked like Emmett Till, is what he said. Yeah. Just imagine how my girl feel on a plane, scared as hell that her guy looked like Emmett Till. That's what he said.
Yeah,
which is a hot line. Like I'm like, oh man, like wow,
Yeah,
you got a reference for somebody from the 50s that has historical significance,
right?
You know what I mean? Like you don't get that in a rap
relevance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's what I'm like. So, you're supposed to let an artist evolve or whatever, but like old Kanye is objectively the best Kanye, in my opinion. Like you can still see remnants, like even in the first 2 episodes, you're like, yeah, there's something a little off here. So you can, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he was diagnosed early on, because there's a thin line. Like, a lot of people, you're just like, oh man, they're genius, just leave them alone. Like, they're just different, yada, yada, yada. I think if they had caught it earlier on, he'd be in a better place right now. Because there's
Would he have
remnants.
been as successful though? Do you think he would have
Well,
been?
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, would that have hurt his success? Because like, watch the third episode, you'll see you'll see it a little bit, and you'll be like, oh, okay, like, they need to better regulate what he's on. I don't want to give too much away, but I can see how he got frustrated, but that doesn't mean you quit. You know what I mean? Like, something's obviously wrong with you. You just have to work through it. Like, medicine, the practice of medicine is not always an exact science. Like, your chemistry needs to be, taken into account, and they need to work through these things over time, and maybe they can get you right. But like, he was on it, and he was just like, nah. Like, you hold me back. You hold me back.
but he still had a bunch of yes men that were just telling him how great he was, though, right? Like,
right.
And you see it in parts of the documentary where people are just like, oh man, they don't get Kanye, they don't understand whatever. It's like, no, you need to tell him that was messed up, or he shouldn't have done this, that, and the third, right? Like,
right.
Ways to go about this stuff. Like, the only people that could have somewhat kept him grounded were people that he left behind in Chicago, right? Because he had a beef. He had a beef with one of the guys there that he was like, man, he taught me what to do, but the guy went on a radio station and just dogged him. Well, he said something that wasn't, that great or whatever, and then they talked it out. Right. But everybody else around him, when he walks through the studio with his crew or whatever, everybody's just like, nah, he's good, And even then, like, the major celebrities you see, like Pharrell and whatnot, like, their time with him, I don't think it was that significant to really pick up on what's going on, right?
Right. It's very short. Yeah.
So like, they see him for a little bit, they hear him rap, like, oh, that's great, you know what I mean? And then they're gone, or he's gone, because he's using their studio time. So he gets in, does what he needs to, and then they're like, all right, I paid for this time, so you need to get out now. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. So yeah, no, it was different, but I don't know. If they would have caught it sooner, I don't think he would have been as successful as he is now, because it's one of those things where it's like when Mayweather used to fight, people wanted to see him lose. Like, people that didn't like him would still watch to see him lose, right? And I think that's what it is with Kanye.
Right.
For people will buy his music to tell you how terrible it is. If I hear it for free and it's bad, I'm not about to support it. You know what I mean? I'm not
right. Yeah, no, and there's always a chance. Like, he can still get help and what have you, like, or he may be, and we just don't know it, right? You only see the crazy stuff that makes it to the tabloids and what have you. Like I said, they showed a video of him messing with paparazzi not too long ago, because he's coming through an airport or whatever. He's with his girl, and the one paparazzi dude gets told, like, hey, they're towing your car, because I guess he parked in like outside the airport, right, where you're not supposed to park at. And Kanye looks at him, he was like, hey, you need to take care of that. He was like, no, the dude's trying to take pictures. He was like, no, like, listen, like, it's two of you need to game plan this. He was like, one of you goes and stops them from taking this car, and the other one can take the pictures. Like, he's just messing with them, and neither one of them will leave and they still take pictures. He's like, all right.
Wow.
So I can only imagine what that feels like, right? Like, I want the money, I don't want the celebrity at all. Like, somebody just taking pictures in my face all day. Like, I know one comes with the other, so like, neither is for me then. But like, no way I would want that. Nah, no, thank you. Get out, give me my space, get out my face. Bars.
Right.
You wouldn't mind being one of these celebrities that's in the background, not celebrities, but rich people in the background, right? So like, when it comes to UFC, right? Like, everybody thinks that Dana White is the single owner of UFC. No, there's three of them. There's two guys you don't even know about, right? Unless you pay attention to UFC, right? Levon could probably tell us the names off the bat, but like, everybody thinks Dana White, but there's two other guys that are there. And it's like, well, I know UFC is making money, you know what I mean? But who are these two other guys? They could probably walk through an airport and nobody know who they are.
Yeah. The only time I want you to take pictures of me is when I hand out the big check, the big, you know what I mean, like the big cartoon size check to the athlete, because I own the team. That's the only time I want these pictures. Then I just want to go back and do my thing.
But you don't even want that, right? you don't even want that, because the second you don't do it for some other cause, they're going to be on you about it, right? Why didn't you give money for this then? Why didn't you give money for this then? You know, I'd rather just do all of that anonymous. Just be like, here's a check. You know what I mean? Don't say who it came from. I don't need any of that. I don't need the publicity. Like, take it, use it the way you're supposed to, and then we'll all go about our day. But
yeah, definitely do not want the fame. That's not for me. But it's not coming anyway. There's no genius over here. not worried about it. But yeah, I can see, like, you can tell Kanye had some issues, and he just didn't catch it. And now it's running rapid. You know, to have his mom and all that other stuff to help him out. So I appreciate the documentary, because he greenlit. Like, what did he not want on there is what my question now. Like, what is on the cutting room floor? Because he put a lot out there. But I guess we'll see. I mean, like, you could still, like, even as it was progressing, you're just like, wait a minute, like, this is still years before current Kanye. Like, so they could do a whole nother one. They could do a sequel if they wanted to, because Kanye's done some more stuff. So we'll see. But aside from that, no movies hit that I wanted to see. I actually wanted to see Sonic 2 because it's been getting rave reviews. But they ain't playing that here. So no Sonic 2 for me. I'll probably watch it when I get home. It'll be on some streaming service or whatever. And then there was another movie that just dropped. Is it Everywhere at Once, or what was the name of the one? I'll put in the chat. Like, I'm waiting for that one to drop here, but I've not seen it yet. It hasn't been advertised.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't even know if it's out.
Yeah, it's out, but it seems like it's only in select theaters for the most part. Or at least, like, for me, for example, I'm in the same boat. Like, the theater that I go to for everything else right down the street here is not playing it. We have to go up to, like, closer to, like, San Jose or something like that to see see that movie. So it's like, I don't know. It seems like it's not in every theater as expected, or, you know, as like a typical release for some of the movies.
Yeah, like a limited release or whatever. So maybe it'll hit HBO Max.
Does that not give you pause though? Like, if it's not
wide
release?
Nope.
No, I think it's
pause
like,
at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, I don't think that's I think it's more so like maybe they don't have a budget, like, to, I don't know. I don't know, theaters have to either pay them to put the movie in the theater or something like that, or however it works, but I think they just haven't, like, advertised it as much. I haven't even seen many commercials on it either. But it's got rave reviews.
I saw the trailer before the reviews, and I was like, that's for me.
But wouldn't the studio put that in the distribution budget to get it out there? Or no?
I don't know. COVID, like, who's to say that didn't have an impact on it as well?
It just seems to me like they don't, like, if you have something that's in select theaters, you don't have enough confidence in that product that it's gonna get a return on investment for it, is my thinking, right? And maybe it will be good, right? It's Everything All at Once or whatever it is. I know the one you're talking about.
Everything All at Once.
Michelle Yee, right? Is that what it is? What's in there?
Or am I thinking like Yo?
Yao? Is that how you say her name?
Yao, yeah. I think it's YEOOU or YEOH, I think. Yeah.
But I mean, it's weird. Like, I saw the trailer. Right. That's why I like Ryan. It don't surprise me. You're like, oh yeah, I got to see that. I'm like,
as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, that's for me.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty much what the dude Doctor Strange is going to be. You just watch that,
right?
But you know, with Doctor Strange, that's kind of true. It's going to be trippy. I have nothing to say. Look, hey, mouth busted on that one. Like, that's true. It's true, right? Like,
it's a multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
No, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'll probably either, we could either take a trip and see it, or may just, like, wait for it to pop up on like HBO Max or something like that.
Dude, I saw the Batman is coming out in 2 days on HBO Max. I was only like 5 days, right? So like 50 days maybe, because that was March 4th. So if it's coming out in 2 days, it's the 18th. Yeah, like 45 days. It's on HBO Max. Now, I don't know if that's limited. Like, it won't be permanent. It'll only be for like a week or so. I don't know, but that's pretty quick that came and got released to
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
but I think that's good. I think that's going to be over. I don't think that's going to happen next year or in the foreseeable future. Because the Warner Discovery merger, whatever, like the CEO that put in this, like we'll release these movies day and date and all that stuff. He's gone. Like, he's getting pushed out. Like he put his resignation in, golden parachute. He's on his way out. And a lot of people didn't like that approach because it burnt a lot of bridges with theaters. So like I think it worked out great for movies like The Matrix and some other ones that just did not do well in theaters. But they're saying that he hurt the industry and yada yada yada. And they don't need two CEOs. So basically they were like, well, we'll take the CEO from here and then you can, go about your way, yada yada yada. So I'm not sure if there's bad blood. Like maybe internally they did like it or whatever, but this is like a PR thing. But like the spin on it is negative. Like he had to resign because of the backlash. But I thought it like for me it was great. So like I subscribed to your service and I had good movies almost day and date. Or even if they were bad movies, I still had them day and date. So it's like and I had to.
I only see this being bad for the studios if it's a successful movie, right?
Right.
So like if you have a movie that sucks anyway, like the studio, I don't think they're making out too well for it. So like if it's a $2 billion movie that gets released and you do it on a streaming service, like your cut is probably smaller. I could see it then. But what does Warner Brothers put out there that made them a lot of money? Because I know Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't that great. I don't think that made a lot. You know what I mean? So like, what
right. But they're saying like Dune and The Matrix and Mortal Kombat and what else dropped? A couple others. They said they would have done better. Like even though they suck, they would have made more money in theaters as opposed to a streaming service. Because you had no choice but to go see them in the theater.
But word of mouth would have ruined it after the first week. Like you would have had the people that would have went and seen it the first week, and then word of mouth would have gotten out there. Reviews would have been out there. People would have been like, "I'm not about to spend $30 to go see this. I'll just wait for it to come out on my streaming service that I already pay for every month." Like that's why I'm like, I kind of don't.
I feel I feel the same way. But I guess there's some people who will still go see a terrible movie just because they need to go to the theater and see something.
Yeah.
But I'll just wait, right? Like, because that Matrix movie was trash. I said it. And Dune was okay. It's going to be a big trilogy, right? So, like, they had to get all the story out. Got it. Now let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah, you just convinced me not to watch it then. If you say it's just okay.
You would not like it. You're like, let's throw a bunch of like, because it's going to be a bigger thing, right? So like, but let's get you your Josh Brolins and your Oscar Isaacs and your Zendayas and put them all in a movie and do very little. Oh, Jason Momoa. Let's do very little with them. On the promise that the sequels we will do a lot with them. But you got to get there, right? Like Dune is like War and Peace. It's like humongous books. So they have to get to the point where there's the battles and what have you. So I don't think you would like the first one.
Well, don't forget Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet, is that his name?
Yeah,
isn't it too, right?
It's a bunch of names. Bunch of names.
I don't know why he's famous though. I don't know why he's famous. Like people,
he's the main character, right?
I think, yeah, him and Zendaya.
Yeah, the broody, melodramatic, like your boy Robert Pattinson, like the same thing.
I didn't get the hype with him either, though. That's the thing. Like I don't get it. Like I keep hearing about Timothy Chalamet. Like I keep hearing the name and whatnot, and I'm like, what would I have seen then? And then when Dune was coming out with their trailers and whatnot, like I know his name was one of the first ones mentioned, and I was like, where else would I have seen this kid? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a sex tape out. Maybe he went the Kim K route. I don't know.
No, man, it's the broody, like, I don't know. They love it.
Those are usually the terrible actors.
They love
though.
it.
Like I'm like, I don't get it. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it.
But then you get the Batman. Like eventually it pays off. And then you get the Batman.
Right.
So it just took decades. But we got there. We're there now. But I think that does it. We'll end on that. It's the broodiness. Definitely continue to like, share, subscribe if you like this. We do this type of content every Friday, so we talk about everything but cybersecurity. But if you're definitely into the cyber stuff, Monday through Thursday, we give you 2 topics of discussion, and we also do interviews on those Thursdays with people trying to get into the industry. So definitely tune in for all that stuff. Hope to have a guest on the show the next couple of weeks. So we'll see if we can make it happen with people's schedules. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit up our socials, the other side of the Firewall Podcast. And then you can hit me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok. And you, Levon?
Yes, sir. You can hit me up on the Twitters at Levon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.
Take care.